Hey everybody, this midweek video is on the Duramax. And I know I had some technical difficulties last week with the Buick video, so I've made some improvements. One, I've switched over to a Bluetooth microphone. Hopefully that'll help pick up my voice better while I'm working in the shop and underneath one of these cars. I'm also experimenting with this new video camera mount that moves when I move. So it's going to be a little bit more interactive. You can get to see a little bit more of me move as I work. And I'm hoping it'll result in better videos, better video quality, and better viewing pleasure for all of you. So on this midweek update, we're working on the Duramax, and we will get the rear console mounted. And I have a surprise for you all. I have a front console that I would like to get installed in this truck as well. We have a plan of driving this a couple of hours south this weekend, so I want to make sure everything is all set with it. So it'll be the longest single road test of this truck, and with 433,000 miles, I want to make sure it's adequately up to the task. I won't be towing or anything like that, but just helping my sister move back into college. So there'll be a little bit of minor hauling into bed, maybe about 180 miles round trip, a little bit more probably. Just a good chance to perform a few regens, get the DPF filter cleared out. I don't get to do a lot of road tests on this truck anyway. So I would like to get it out on the highway, get a lot of miles on it, just so we can make sure it's good. So with that, let's get into the video. All right, so we got the Duramax up on stands really quickly, just so I can get underneath the truck really easily. I want to be able to run some wire and kind of get this tailgate mounted as well. So I'm packing a lot in this episode. I want to be able to push a button and have the multi-pro tailgate move up and down. I want to fix this wiring issue that I'm having with my taillights and get both center consoles mounted. Let's see if we can do it all. So a little turbo Buick update. I hope you all know what this is. These are the headrests for the rear seat, and I finally got them out of the car. So I can have whole access to the back when I'm looking at the back of the car. Thank you so much for suggesting that. I've noticed a big difference in my visibility, so I'm listening. I got them out. Okay, so last week I left off on trying to get this console mounted back here, and I've been kind of using it as a front console in the meantime, because what's so weird, you just don't know how much you really need a center console until you don't have it. Your feet, your whole body is kind of like just moving around because you don't have a center console to like rest your thigh on or rest your arm on. So highly recommend keeping a center console. You really don't know how much you need it until you don't have it. So I have to cut a few things on this one to make it fit back there. So the plan is to cut relief cuts like right here, going down on both sides. And I also have to trim the height of it. I have to get it down a little bit, because if you take a look here, this is how high your arm naturally wants to rest in there. And this is a couple inches too high. Not to mention it also gets in the way of this by a few inches. So what I'll do first, I'll trim the reliefs in each side just so I can get it squeezed in there, and then I'll decide whether I want to keep these, remove them, or cut the height down to work. Let's do that. All right, first things first, let's get these factory armrests off of here. Okay, look to be 13 millimeters, so that's easy. All right, so unfortunately, what I tried to do is I took the cover off the top, and I wanted to see if I could come in here and cut these sections right off, and that will give me some of the flex that I need. Because if you see right here, you have supports that are pushing against this piece, and that's what I need. That's the flex I need. And hopefully that'll still keep some of its structure, but it'll give me what I need to squeeze it in. So right now, at its widest point, this is about 15 inches away from each other, 15 3/4 inches. And I need an inch of that. So hopefully by cutting right here, and then the same thing on the other side, I can flex it in. I'll at least have as much room as this is willing to give me. So let's try that out. All right, so we have cut out those reliefs in there, and I am down to 13.5. So I gained more than an inch and a half on this, which is perfect. So I can now get this into the back seat and get it fixed up. All right, so it fits. It looks good. I've lost a lot of sunlight, so I'll try to take a video in the morning, but this is it. Fitting right on in there. All right, so I'm in the back seat right now, and this feels good to me. Maybe I'll get a shorter person, my wife, to test this out, but you know, I feel comfortable. Like my drink will be right here. Be eating stuff. All that looks good to me. I could either play with it like right here, or I could set it back off of the ledge just a little bit, like this, and then you'll have extra room in the back to store stuff. Well, this feels kind of good too. I think I like this more. Yeah, because now I can access everything. Cups are right here, and I'm closer to the floor. I think I could bolt this in right here. As you can see, it's pretty push fit, but I do need to put some type of bracketry to keep it in place. Thankfully, I do have the two brackets that came off of the Navigator, so it'll be easy to just bolt that right to the floor and then bolt this to those brackets. I wish they were all like this. Done. Today was a really hot day, and the AC in the shop went out. I have a 12,000 BTU mini split right here, and it scared me because it popped the circuit breaker for this area, and when I restored power, it had like an F4 error, and that was telling me it was an outdoor sensor issue with the outside unit, and I did not want to go ahead and diagnose that in the heat, so I just left it disconnected. I was watching YouTube videos on, you know, what to do to fix it, and thankfully when I plugged it back in, it started working again. So small blessings, I will take it. So still trying to get the shop cooled, but it is hot. So I'm gonna call that a night. Everything else that I have to work on deals with it being outside on the vehicle, but I can prep some wire harnesses. So I have a few aftermarket, well, not aftermarket, but they didn't come on the truck stock. I'm talking about, yes, that 2019 tailgate. I want to be able to power that up. I have a turn signal issue that I want to fix. with the load leveling. I'll explain more of that in the morning. And fog lights. I want to add fog lights to the truck too. I want to be able to control that via a button on the dashboard. So I'll tackle all that in the morning. Hey everybody, so it's the next day and I've made some progress off camera. Let me catch you up. So you turn on the ignition and I have my Auxbeam controller right here. If I hit 2 and 3 here, you just heard those clicks. Now the tailgate is down. So finally got that working and wired up. I have additional buttons. I have 8 buttons in total. So I'm going to use it to wire up these lights as well. Also fog lights on the front end and a couple of other things that come to mind, but we'll get to that. What I'm working on right now is my LT2 console. So I'm trying to get this console to bolt in, but this is obstructing it. This is the 4x4 shift lever because I have a manually operated transfer case. So whenever this is down and over it, look, I'll show you right now. It kind of gets in the way like that. So with this dead in the way, I can't get the bolt holes to line up down here. Everything is just a little bit off. So the plan is to get to a point where I can move the shifter a little bit closer to the driver's side, and that way it'll free up enough room to get the LT2 console in place. Now, I have plans for the interior down here, so it won't be like a final mock-up, but I'm still waiting on the next step for the interior. So more on that to come. But once I figure out this piece, everything else can go in place real smoothly after that. Oh, so showing you all what I've done with the wiring. Let me bring you all in here. So this will be my my Auxbeam controller. On this side, I got a circuit breaker on this side, so 60 amps of current. Everything is wired to individual fuses, and these wires power the ignition sense that turns the controller on, and the controller that I just showed you up front. So all that's wired in. There's plenty of videos on how to do it online, so I just wanted to show you all the progress on the truck so you all can see what's going on with that. All right, now I got the seat and the console in for mock-up purposes. And here's what it looks like. Now I can still put my foot over here, no problem. I don't want that to happen. So I know I'm gonna have to bring it in some, but the great part is I have more than enough shifter length to decide where I want to put the upward shaft and where I need to cut and round off this, this piece of pipe. So let's do that right now. Also, while I have the opportunity, I am going to wire up these power seats just so I can get perfect fitment on myself as it relates to the pedal and the shifter. All right, so we're back. All of the seats are bolted in. As you can see, power is working. Console is in. The other side is working too. All right, so I've been dealing with some really sloppy steering lately. All of this movement is not doing anything for the wheels. So I am going to replace my steering gear. It is the component down at the frame that turns all of the movement at the pedal into power steering for both sides of the truck. So I was interested in doing either blue top or PSC, but I needed it on really short notice and Rock Auto came through. So I got a brand new SKP unit and I'm just gonna use that. Let's get this unboxing done.
Oh man, another box. Wow. Let's see here. Okay. Getting a good feeling. This is looking mighty official.
I have difficulty showing you all from underneath the truck, so I'll snap my fingers and we'll be all done. All right, so quick video. I'm underneath the truck right now and I'm seeing that there's a lot of liquid here, a lot of leaking. And it looks like the origin point is at the steering gear. So as you can see, there's not much as far as leaks once you get past the steering gear. So it tells me that it's leaking from the seal that's right there between the steering gear and the pitman arm. So we're actually fixing a leak as well. So great news there. All right, so I got good and bad news. Good news is, got the old one out. Took it out with the idler arm. Bad news is, the leak is coming from above the power, above the steering gear. If you look real close, right there in the center of the screen, you're actually seeing a leak from the bottom of the power steering pump. So, yes, the steering gear has free play in it. It does need to be replaced. The adjustment is maxed out, so it needs to go. But the power steering pump failing is the cause of all of this, all of the leak underneath here. So need to now take off the fan shroud and get access to the power steering pump and remove that. Just never ends. All right, so pump is out. I got that down here. I got to transfer the old brackets onto the new pump. I also have to take off the pulley that's on here because new power steering pumps don't come with pulleys. Also, I've sprayed everything down with oven cleaner, so I'm just gonna let that sink in and then I can power wash everything clean. By then I should be back from the parts store with what I need to pull the old pulley off and the replacement pump. I need fluid as well, so I got to pick that up. And there's one more thing. What did I forget? Fluid, pump. Oh, and if you look right there, you see I got a busted sway bar bushing, so I got to replace that as well. So not much daylight left. It's around 8 o'clock, but thankfully the parts store is open 24 hours, so I can get that done and hopefully get on the road in the morning. Hey everybody, so it's another day. Unfortunately, I was not able to take the Duramax down. We ran out of time on it, but I'm still in the middle of the repair, so let me show you what progress I've made. All right, so we got the power steering pump in. All of that is hooked up with lines and with bolts, and now we just got to get over on this steering gear. All right, so it was a hard-fought battle, but I've finally gotten everything replaced. So in summary, we drained the system, we replaced the power steering pump, we replaced the steering gear. Now, the power steering pump was not originally part of the plan, but as we got the steering gear out, we noticed that there was a leak right underneath the power steering pump, so that naturally had to be replaced as well. I only want to have to deal with this system once. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the stabilizer bar bushing, so I'll have to cover that in a later episode. But everything else looks really good underneath there. It seems like that leak has been happening for a while. I noticed a lot of buildup on some of the components, but it seems like that's the only leak in this entire system, which is really good for a 433,000 mile truck. So happy to see all that, happy to get it back together and get it on the road. But first I gotta fill it up. This system takes 1 gallon of power steering fluid just because it not only takes care of the steering components, but it also takes care of the hydraulic braking system. So let's get that up. We'll get it bled and we'll take it for a drive, see how much better it does. Alright, so I've got about 100 miles on this setup, and it's doing really well. I am pleasantly surprised with how good it feels. I'm finally able to, turn the wheel as easy as possible. I can track in a straight line with no problem. Things have been pretty good. One issue is I accidentally clocked the pitman arm in the wrong position. So the steering wheel is half cocked to the right. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if an alignment can take that out or not, but I really don't want to have to head back underneath the truck and fix it. I will if I have to, but I'm hoping I won't, because I know those pitman arms don't come off as easy as they do. Which I was really happy that I got it without a core charge, because when you get it with a core charge, you got to take off the arm in order to return it. So in any case, success with the power steering pump, success with the steering gear, minor hiccup with the steering wheel alignment, but nothing that can't be fixed. All right, everybody, so that's a wrap for this video. Next time on the Duramax build, we will replace that bushing, take a look at the steering alignment, get the whole truck aligned, and fix up any random interior bits that still need some attention, but made a lot of progress over the course of this week. So I'm really excited to see it take shape. Finally something that I can get on the road and be proud of. There are a few more things that I want to do. It's still a work truck because it still has manual windows, so I need to get those power windows wired in. So more to come on that as well. But the next video you will see will be on the Grand National. So excited to share some news with you on that. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Talk to you in the next one.